If you watch all, a partial sharing in order to put down the very people which they tend to be.
Mazi Chinedu is a former. You are not coming out. I don't know if you can reposition yourself because you are going off.
Have been able to make sure that they give every of this region a path to keep silent, just as they gave the West commerce, give them seaport, airport, and all of those things in the expense of the East. And also gerrymandering most of our borders, our towns, and our villages, and our cities, territories to most of all these other places. That is what have, you know, advance and give the Fulanis that very edge. And when you comes to the individual politicians, you see, especially from the East, they keep promising them that promise that they will keep, they see what they are doing, as what we fetch them a position in the future. And all of these things are what have brought everyone, just like, let me use the present government in power now. When they want to achieve the Muslim ticket, they they set it out as if they want to give a Western, from the West, a president ready to achieve that president, that Muslim ticket, without being checkmate. It will now definitely goes down in the future, or in the future, that it will be Muslim president continually. But that greed, that same benefits that they use in trapping every one of the so-called Nigerian into their plan is what they have been using. If you watch most of I was watching one of the videos which Asari did earlier this week. You now start wondering, how did this man now went so far back from what he was, set out to do? It is that same lobbying, dragging them, giving them that same benefit that have been what the Fulanis have been using to, you know, continue their killing, their advancement of colonizing the whole country. So if there is no doubt, and there is no stance or positioning to say that there is no Christian genocide, because it has been going on for years. And I will use the same opportunity to advise any intervention anywhere from the international community to first of all study the Nigerian case from the pre-colonial era. Even the British is not innocent of this. They are quiet because they know that there is what they stand to gain. There is an agreement within them and the caliphate. So all of these things have been what have been fueling, advancing the Fulani hegemony in killing Christians, making sure that this Islamize and Fulanize every area in Nigeria. The Christian genocide have gone beyond that same knowledge, that same understanding of how many Igbo die, Igbos are the people spoiling Nigeria, Igbos wants to rule by all costs, and all of those rhetoric. It has come to, affect everybody. That is why Tom, Dick, and Harry is crying. But will they do the needful by standing on what is right, by standing in the side of IPOB? No, that same benefits which they use in giving them Niger Delta, and them get on. Igbo want presidency, Igbo want Biafra. Igbo, you see this same greed, this same stupid benefits, which most of them have been hanging to, is what have been running down the country. Then presently now, the Fulani hegemony, the Fulani killing, the Fulani genocide, the Fulani Christian unaliving, it is the caliphate. That is the caliphate that has the end victory. Because if you watch presently how Nigeria is being constituted, you will not even know that the Fulani Caliphate is the head of all traditional leaders, unopposed, not contested. Then when you come to a religious head, all of those Khan and all of them, they are all subservient to him. So when did this position was given to the Fulani Caliphate? Nobody knows. But these things have been planned from the colonial era to this very time. That most of us that have looked deep with the exposition of Mazi and Kanu and the IPOB and in-depth research, we now came up with all of these views that everybody is seeing today now. The killing of Christians in Nigeria have gone haywire. Even as we keep exposing it, as we keep calling it out, they are perpetrating it. Even today now, as I'm talking to you now, they launched an attack in Kogis in a church. I will only call out the name of that place if I look at my this thing because it's a recent this thing. So there is no doubt. And the Nigerian state, which just like what they call him, the one that was talking around that is no Christian genocide, that he has gone in. He's being affected, but because of political position. And at the end, by 5 to 8 years' time, you see the same people come to our position to talk about how the genocide in Nigeria, Christian unaliving, have been affecting them. Then you keep asking yourself, what kind of human beings are these? That is why I thank Elohim for giving us this very platform, giving the leadership of IPOB, especially Mazi and Kanu, who have been incarcerated unjustly for saying the truth. After all, what he has said since 2012 to date have all played out in our front. Even the so-called Omotosho, can he travel to his village? And how, even if he's a Muslim, how the Fulani sees him is, they see him as someone that is not good as a good Muslim. And if you watch all of this unaliving of in Nigeria, you find that it is very, very hard for any pastor or any reverend father being captured by these very people, set free or pay ransom and they be released. They do unalive these people, which shows you that they want to eradicate Christianity in Nigeria. There is no doubt about that. And it is clear in the eyes of the whole world. And we cannot back down from saying it because just like this morning, my wife always give me this disturb, happen this one, not happen. I brought out somebody which I know that the person have either a kidney problem, and I brought out other of his ordeal with the Nigerian government, the Nigerian police and the army. How many times they have taken him to court? How many times they have jailed him? And he's still saying it. Then I now still brought out another video of a young man who is in the hands of this body killing the Christians and running down churches and everything. His wife is also pregnant in that very place, and he closed his mouth. You say the truth, you die. You don't say the truth, you die. We have decided to say the truth and make sure that we, take out ourselves from this. But even if we died in it, we know that children will not inherit this place that they call Nigeria. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you. These things, when we talk about these things, people think maybe we just IPOB, we just want to talk, or these people are just talking. But come on, these are lives that we are talking about. And you see, Nigerian, you're the government that is supposed to protect these lives are the one who is also downplaying the killing. It's very, very worrying. Not worrying on the side of, for the government is not worrying to them. For some of us, it is worrying to us because we understand the value of human life. But again, look at the energy that the government is spending to ensure that this thing or the killings of these Christians are not heard. Like one of the speakers said earlier, Christians, defend your faith. And non-Christians should defend should speak to defend human lives, to defend humanity. That is why we are speaking. Some of the people who are speaking here today, some are not Christians, but that it doesn't count because they understand the value of human life. I mean, they understand the self-preservation, what it means. The need to preserve a people, to preserve the life of a people, irrespective. But what we are doing, or what we must ensure as a people that we do and achieve, is to ensure that we do not allow the government of Nigeria, whether now, whether tomorrow, or whenever, we must ensure that the Nigerian government do not sweep this under the cover as they have always done. And it is our duty, you and I, if we do not do anything, if we do not say anything, it means that we have become complicit. And it doesn't end there. It means that someday, somehow, whether sooner or later, you and I will become a victim of this genocide. I was talking with somebody a few days ago. We were looking at this unaliving of Christians, and the person told me, you know, anyway, God will help us, or God will help me. And I told the person very plain, or I asked the person rather, I said, do you think that the bishop that was kidnapped alongside the wife, do you think that bishop didn't pray to say, God, protect me, especially when he heard that other Christians were being kidnapped or unalived? He must have said to himself, or prayed to himself and say, God, protect me and my family. But some way, somehow, irrespective or despite his prayer, he fell, or he became a victim. I am only saying that if you and me, who have not, become a victim yet, if we do not speak up, if the Christians do not stand up to defend their faith, if you are a Christian, you cannot have a conversation with your pastor, with your daddy Gio, to say that, why are you not speaking, or why is our church not out there, speaking up and making our voice count to ensure that the Christian genocide, gains attraction enough for help to come, because Nigerian government is unwilling to help you. Now it is on you to do what you can. It is on us to do what we can to ensure that we save ourselves. In the meantime, since we are not allowed to go toe to toe with these criminals, even though we encourage ourselves to ensure that, we defend ourselves as much as we can. But we know, as it is in Nigeria today, attempts by people to reciprocate the same measure to these terrorists that are going about place to place has been meted with a brute force from the same government that refused to do anything about the genocide. So in the meantime, what we can do, we can actually exploit this avenue that is available to us now that, American, and not just American government, other governments of the world are beginning to, feel and see what is going on, and they are speaking up in one way or the other. Churches even outside Nigeria are even planning protests outside. These are churches outside Nigeria making all these moves. Then you ask yourself, why can the Christians in Nigeria gather themselves and make their voice heard loudly? When I say loudly, something that their voice will be heard across the world. And that is what we must encourage our Christian brothers and sisters to look into. So if you are a Christian and you are on this platform, you are on this space this evening, and you are not speaking about it, you are not engaging people, you are not engaging authorities or engaging your church authorities, it then means that you are being complicit, and you can't tell when it will be you. Mazi Black and White, I see your hand. We'll take you after you. We will take Ghost. We will take Ghost. Yeah, we'll take the Ghost. Please, 5 minutes each.
Thank you, Mazi. Thank you very much. I want to welcome us to this wonderful program. I have been searching on X to see where Christians are actually discussing about their persecution on X. You can't find any. But I was born a Christian, but at some point I no longer see Christianity as a viable religion for me because of the corruption in the Christian faith. To be frank with you, I sympathize because at the end of the day, everybody is going to fall victim of whether you are a Christian or, as long as you are not a terrorist, you are not a jihadist, you are going to fall under the sword of Islam. So most of the people that are even being killed today, most of them doesn't even have that strong Christian faith. Some of them are just church goers. Some of them are church goers, and some of them are not even born again, as the Bible say, be born again. But as long as you identify with the faith, you are a target. So, and also the Christians in the north bear the burden of the guilt of how they also join their fellow Islamic north to fight against their fellow Christians of the south between 1967 to 70. They bear that burden. I will continue to remind them that whatever goes around comes around. I met a Christian Middle Belton while I was still in Nigeria. He was telling me the story of how they used them to fight for one Nigeria, fight the civil war. They were promised that Arewa Conservative Forum, they were recruited into Arewa Conservative Forum, under that umbrella. Today, do you hear Arewa Conservative Forum talking about Christian genocide? But these were the strategies that were used, to use them. Because anytime it's convenient, they use them. Anytime they feel they have finished using them, they discard them. And that is what they are still doing among some Christians of the southern, some Yoruba Christians who are also helping to carry the propaganda that there is no Christian genocide. When they finish using them, they will still discard them. But I want to proffer a solution because we can't just be talking about the problem without solution. The Christendom has the resources to defend themselves. They have enough abundant resources to defend themselves against terrorism, against jihad. They have the money, they have the equipment. What they lack is the willpower. And that is where I've always said it. Donald Trump doesn't even need to put American boots on the ground. All he just needs to do is to equip Nigerian Christians all over Nigeria, arm them, and they will go to war to defend themselves. Bringing American troop on the ground is a waste of time. Christians in Nigeria can stand up and take the war to the terrorists. All they just need is the arms and the ammunition, that's all. And the area support of the United States. Finish, and the whole story will be over. Nobody will fight this battle like the persecuted Christians themselves. Nobody will fight this battle for them. They will be the one to fight the battle. And they also know the people they are fighting. American soldiers might not know the terrorists, but the Christian militia, let me use that word. If it can build a militia that can take the war to the terrorists, it will be a more reasonable rather than sitting here and be campaigning and talking every day. America need to mobilize Christian, equip them with all the necessary facilities for self-defense, and not just for self-defense, because we can't continue to be on self-defense. We need to take the war to the enemy camp. That's all I have to say. Thank you very much, Mazi.
Mazi, there will. And I do appreciate your submission, honestly. I do. Let us take, we will come to that. Let us take a Ghost.
Good evening.
Good evening
Am
and
I in?
welcome. Yes.
Okay. What I want to drop here is that if you look at all these Christians genocide going on in Nigeria, one is from, how am I going to put it, like how the preachers like participate New Testament and Old Testament. Like example, in the New Testament, we already preach like if they slap you on your left side, turn your right side. The Muslims and Islam have already studied some of our holy books and know where our weak point is from. Then there's one book, one video I watched when a Muslim and this prophet are discussing. If you see an infidel, who are infidel? Is me and you that are calling infidel. If you get opportunity to strike against infidel, strike them. On the other hand, all this killing that is going on in southeastern part of Nigeria, for my own suggestion, there are some elites of Igbo, some Igbo elite or elite from eastern part of Nigeria who are already Muslim. But in the other side of us, we are not seeing them. We are still seeing them as a Christian. But every day of their life, they are participating in the mosque, going to the northern, going to Abuja, mingling with all these northerners. We are seeing them as some of us, because the problem of Igbo man is, or African man is that if you see a person who have a lot of money, we start seeing that person as a god. If he will do anything to his village people, nobody will talk about it. They will say, he's doing giveaway, this one, this one, this one. My own point is that let us look into that place one, because how can we be going on killing of people in every part of Nigeria, coming down to eastern part of Nigeria? Some of our elites, some of the business cartel are not talking about it. In the other hand, if you watch, when Donald Trump say that he is going to defend Christians or something else like that coming to Nigeria, there is reason why the man says such. If you watch, like almost 1 month and the American government was shut down from October 1st. On November 1st, Donald Trump can drop one statement of helping Christians in Nigeria or defending Christians in Nigeria, something else like that. Something they happen small, like if the government will reopen, because Democrats are voting against the opening of government of America. Then on the process again, on the 7th of November, Donald Trump can't threat Nigerian government. Because if you watch, during time of Goodluck, who threat Nigerian government or threat of Goodluck Jonathan government that time was Obama. All these things that is happening in Nigeria is not like ordinary things like do it a minor thing, do it a minor thing. It's something that now we have big opportunity now to get ourselves out for these things. Since Trump have used his hand to put it there and say something else like that, we have many people who have already dropped many statements of Christian genocide going on in Nigeria. It is our own benefit and our own opportunity now to work together with those people. If you see that time, that thing come, like when when they talk about all this genocide going on, is how they put pressure on judging Mazi and the Kanu. They know the game they are playing. On the 7th of November, when Donald Trump dropped another threat on that 7th of November, after 2-3 days, the vote of reopen the government of America. There is something going on that we, our people, don't know, because we have already been teaching and they have been preaching us, if they beat you, turn this side, may they beat you the other side. But our people didn't see that thing on time. But I'm thank God that many people are already coming to their senses. It's not that the preachers are, well, I don't know how I'm going to put it, but it's better that we are seeing that this is not the way you have to treat this matter. I'm not trying to say, hey, may we push something, may we go to war with anybody, but we have this big opportunity now. For me, for what I'm trying to say is that for my own suggestion to solve this issue like that is going on, since Donald Trump already dropped the issue, Nicki Minaj, a celebrity for America, have already talked about the genocide of Christians in Nigeria. Pope Leo have already talked about it, and we get a big opportunities now because Pope Leo have already visited Nigeria more than 9 times and be ordained, like, I don't remember the church, St. Augustine. I don't remember the location, the parish did that time. We have that big opportunity. For what I want to drop here is that if we can gather ourselves, since these people are talking for us now, there is no need of maybe we will last or wait more. They know the reason why they moved Nnamdi Kanu to Sokoto prison. They know the game they are playing there. If America invade Nigeria, they know that it is not a part of Nigeria that we invade. They are playing the game. But I don't know whether if our people see it too, or I don't know whether if our people see it and last, or we didn't see what is coming. You understand? For me, if our people, all people that is abroad, we gather themselves, see Pope Francis know who is Nigeria and know what's going on in Nigeria. May our people that outside country gather themselves during all this Christmas festival period, go to Rome, Vatican City, and protest. Some of others people who dey America or North America, we go to Washington and protest, seek for the help. You get big opportunity. I'm not sure what is going to happen in the next government to come in a few years if Republican or person like Donald Trump didn't win American presidential election again. I'm not sure that the way this killing going on in Nigeria, we are going to survive it if there is nothing happen within this period so far. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you, my brother. I would love to, because we will not just let's have some conversation. Like I said, I would love to engage you, Ghost, my brother, if you wouldn't mind, if you oblige me. I wanted to ask. All right, thank you. Are you a Christian?
Of course, I'm a Christian, and
Wonderful.
I was born and brought up as a Christian, and I
Wonderful.
participate in service.
That's very good. Thank you. Thank you, my brother. I'm glad you as a person, you are aware of the Christian genocide. I believe you attend church. Your church, is this conversation going on in your church? Not among members. I'm talking within those that are called the leaders of the church, the pastors and the cabinet. Do they have this conversation during service? Do they say, you know what, Christians in Benue are being killed? Yesterday or in the news, social numbers in Benue, a community here was razzled and people were chased out, and it was done by the Fulani. And we as Christians, it is good for us to be aware. What do we do? This kind of conversation, does it go on within your church, please?
Yeah, this kind of conversation goes on within my church, but how am I going to put it? Like, It's like in the Bible, no, okwu a na-agbasa okwu mmiri a na-agbasa n'okwute, like to come on pulpit, discuss issue like the killing of a Christian in Nigeria, do this one, without any putting much effort. You understand what I mean? This time around is no longer may we talk. We have to sit down and come together and find what you have to do. Like example now, if you say an Anglican, he will say you're a Catholic person is worshiping idol. That is the problem we have as a Christianity. If you see an Methodist, he will say this person is not doing as they do. I don't know if you are trying to
I
understand
understand
what I mean.
very, very well.
Yes, that
I
is the issue
understand.
of the Christianity now
So
that's going on so far. And a
in that
Catholic does not believe.
in that
And a
don't
Catholic
worry
does
about
not.
that. Let's not go. I mean, we understand this. I mean, personally, I do, and I want to also I
Okay.
want to guess that most of our people here or our listeners do understand what the point you are trying to make. But in order not to stress it so much, whether Anglican, whether Pentecostal, whether Catholic, let us put all of that divide aside.
Yes.
Christians there's Christian genocide going. I mean, let us assume churches were not even aware before now, but now that the thing is more than obvious, and even Donald Trump has even had to speak concerning it, and the Nigerian government is doing everything to ensure that it is not aired or it is believed that there's no Christian genocide. I'm saying this because there is this saying that you cannot cry more than the bereaved. The tactics that the Nigerian government is employing right now, it will get to a point if we do not rise up, if the church, if the Christian faith, and everybody of good will and good conscience, if we do not do what we're supposed to do, if we do not give it enough attention, what will eventually happen is this. It will now become, there is a limit to which, of course, another government or the foreign government can go, especially if those the interest of the people at stake, if they are not even doing anything at all. I don't know if you understand. So it becomes difficult. You put even the American government and Donald Trump, you put them in a very difficult position to even help. That is why we must, like some of our speakers have said, we'll not just come here and keep talking and talking. We have to be able to, we are people, we are human beings, and people are Biafrans for that matter, people that should be able to sit down and work out a way. We must encourage the church. If these conversations must be ongoing. If you are a Christian, you go to church, whether within the week or Sunday, and this conversation is not being talked about. You as an individual, you have the right. You have it's a call to save ourselves from the existential threat. Then it is on you to speak up and say, Pastor, I have something to say. That the GO, I have something to say. Yesterday, this is what is on the news, and there's a target. They went to a Ruku church. They've gone to Cherubim and Seraphim today, and they are here yesterday. They killed this. They attacked this person. They killed this person. They are collecting ransom. The GO, why are we not talking about it and how we can help? That will now bring us to how do we help or what do we do, right? Now, if the Christian body is not even speaking up enough, then what are we talking about? How many that the GOs, how many churches have even been bold to speak about it or even mobilize people or encourage our people to speak about these things? How will they when they are not even having these conversations in the first place? I think it is important that these conversations take front burner in every church. That would, I mean, by the time that is done, you know, those who are collecting 5K, 20K data, you know, money to defend the government, and also those who are collecting millions and billions to travel around the world to downplay it. There's no way they can be able to counter when the real people who are receiving the bullet, those who are the victims, when they are speaking. So far, I mean, I may be wrong, I stand to be corrected. I mean, I cannot even, my palms, if I want to count from my palms, I can count the pastors that have even spoken out at all. Then there's one man from around the Middle Belt who took this issue very serious. But I can't remember that man's name. The man who was, you know, always calling out Sheikh Gumi and saying that Sheikh Gumi, the word should come. He has evidences. He has been burying, you know, his church members. There was another young.
Sorry, sir. His name is Pastor Ezekiel Dakomu.
All right, Dankomi. Thank you very much, my co-host. There's another young man again, young guy who came out and also gave detailed, you know, report and, you know, life experiences of these things. What happened? After a few days, young man came online and said his family, his associates were even his associates within Christendom, they were calling him to say, you know what you are saying is the truth, but we value you so much. We want you to protect yourself and your life. So therefore, maybe pull the video down or say that no, what you said wasn't. I think something like that. Some people, I'm sure some people saw those things. How many, if we're given the number of that the GOs and churches that we know, and compared to even those that we know that are spoken, you say that it's not even up to ratio 1:10, right? So we must, if that is one thing we're able to take away from here, we must be able to engage. I said this thing in our last space. We must be able to engage those pastors to ensure that these conversations are. This is not time. Stop. This is not time for hope. Hope will not save you when a Fulani man is, you know, who is wielding is pointed at you. Do you understand? The hopes, you know, they give you in church will not save you, will not save situation. So let us be real. And once these conversations are on, what it will spark is that it will push these people, the GOs, to be speaking, you know, and calling for help, calling for, you know, we want to be saved. We don't want, we want to, if we are even allowed, like Mazi Black and White said, we can save ourselves if we are empowered. You know, that will ensure that we counter the propaganda that the government is spending money and so much, you know, to do to ensure that they counter the ongoing Christian genocide. I don't know whether I've been able to pass any message clear in you know, with what I've said. Ghost, I think you want to say something. You know, I was trying to engage you. Please go on.
Okay. The thing is that if you see what is going on in Nigeria now, and the thing is trying to come almost middle belt, trying to come down to eastern region of Nigeria, some are afraid. You understand? Even what happened so far between the killing of IPOB that's already happened so far in Nigeria. Some were afraid. Now I know say 80% of our people are afraid. Like, what is happening? How are we going to fix this situation? And though if you see, the problem of Igbos now is that I'm saying it with my full chest. That most people, our brothers, all these business people and elite that are in Igbo land, almost 80% of them are Muslim, but our people don't know that one. If you put on ground for investigation of this, you will find out that is the reason of this killing is going on without them saying anything at all. I come see one one. Hello, are you hearing me?
Yes, we can hear you now. You were off for about 5 to 7 seconds or 10 seconds.
Okay. I see one video where one lady or one girl, something else like that, they criticize Nnamdi Kanu. I see that video. They're having open discussion room. That is one thing. For may I put it like this? If you cannot, people in abroad can do that thing. Sit down on a land table, ask few questions within themselves. But the way this girl put this thing, like Nnamdi Kanu is the problem of Nigeria. When they are doing this, I tell my friend, you see this case of Nnamdi Kanu going on now, jail Nnamdi Kanu, another people will be coming to testify against him more and more and more. They are trying to brought up fake evidence. Like example now, all these things that the school people from Boko Haram or bandit camp brought it back to Nigerian government. They are with DSS. What they are trying to fix there is that our leader man Nnamdi Kanu is the one controlling them, something else like that. But the way I go back to that video, the way I see those videos now going on, flying up on internet, our people are fair. You cannot. There are people that defended those ladies now. But if you say people on the eastern region of Nigeria to do such of a thing, they will go and fish them out and punish them or kill them silently. Nobody go hear about them again. But as in an IPOB member or IPOB organization, they are not going to attack the lady because we just allow her to do what she wants to do. The thing is that there is no way you go tell person and maybe go confront his priest or do this one. Everybody is afraid somehow because the killing is too much. But that doesn't
Sorry
mean
to
that.
interject. Let me get you. What is the fear? The fear to come. I know that I already understand the fear of the priest speaking up. I will come to that. But what are you saying? Are you saying that there is fear to go and talk to your priest regarding the Christian genocide? And I want us to don't personalize it because I'm talking to you now because it starts with me and it starts with you. You are a Christian,
okay,
and you have a church that you attend, and you have it at a GO. You have a priest. If you have not had this conversation with your priest, my brother, it is high time you ensure that if you have to protest in your church, you are talking about protest in your church to ensure that this Christian genocide is given attention. I don't know if you understand. That is the point where, as for those who are
I
pointing,
understand
like
where
you
you
talked about the lady who's talking against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I will tell you some of those things are just to cause distraction from the real issues that are on ground. You talk about politicians and elites and the elites and the businessmen. I tell you, my brother, the elites of our society and the businessmen, most of them are politicians. And you don't expect politicians to be the one to speak up for you. Of course, you don't expect them. Okay. So it is we, the people who are victims, that at this time the task, the job is in our hands to do. Once we get our church, irrespective of the denomination, to acknowledge what is going on, that would spur and help even those outside. I mean, you like the way you were suggesting, people outside Nigeria, churches and all that, those engagements. But they have to see, I mean, those, how can you, the one in the fire, you are not shouting, you are not, complaining of the heat. You want somebody who is somewhere cool to be crying rather more than you. I don't know. So we have to, we have to take it up upon ourselves at this point. That is why one of the speakers was suggesting that, the Christians should be empowered to take even the fight to them, which you know, that is another end. They can be empowered to defend themselves. Was that not what gave right to Mazi, Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB? You know, what brought about the Eastern Security Network, ESN. It is this to preserve our lives, to preserve our parents, our fathers, our mothers who goes to farm, our sisters, our hunters in the bush, from these jihadists who comes to our places like us, I mean, in the guise of headers. Do you know for how many years over the news, all we kept seeing and hearing was farmer headers clash? I mean, do you remember how long all these things went on for? So let us stop.
Of course.
I mean, we have gotten to a point where we can speak all the grammar, speak all the English. We'll still come back to where we are because Nigerian government is not just talking, they are taking action. They are spending the money. They are doing the lobbying, and all their lobbyists are everywhere, ensuring that they water down the Christian genocide. And if that happens, my people, make we think. My co-host, I see the hand is up.
But
Yes, my brother, you want to please round it up. Let me give you a minute to just.
okay, no problem, no problem. Like example now for my own suggestion, I might say my mind like as we take this thing up in our churches, various churches, different church, you know, it is for the it's for the priest who is in charge of that church to decide. I know, like example, I was born and brought up inside a Christian family as a Catholic. I know what is inside Catholic. There is no amount of waiting you go feed do that praise. They will make it publicly. They will find indirect or direct way to block it somehow. Because I know some of them as the priesthood are afraid of what is going on. But I don't know. But your suggestion is okay. May we put it on ground, try our best for more and more to protest inside church. If the thing can't work, then those who are outside can help out somehow. Thank you.
Thank you, my brother. Well, I'll take my co-host Femi Mazi after you. Then we'll take brother Noah Nuvna. Please, sorry if I murdered that name. I apologize. But please, my co-host Femi Mazi, you have it.
Thank you, host. I wanted to respond to the last speaker, but I don't know how to even phrase what I want to say to him. But let me just point us to a critical direction. You see, when it comes to governance in the world today, everything is about politics, right? The difference between what IPOB is pushing and what is happening is that IPOB is about humanity, the lives of human beings, how we can live well, how we as a Black people can become emancipated, free, deliver from everything that is holding us. One speaker earlier on said that, noted something very significant. I can't remember who the speaker was, but the speaker said, have you noticed that Britain is silent? Have you noticed that Britain is actually silent? Every other country in Europe is talking. Even the Italian churches are organizing protests. Protests against Christians genocide in Nigeria. Churches in Italy are organizing it, but the UK, see UK, see Italy. Why is the UK silent? You and I know that UK is the direct owner of Nigeria, even though we see that the present government is leaning more towards France. Let me also bring it to our remembrance that the UK and the USA are cousins. The USA is actually a country, the whites of the USA broke away from the UK. So for them, it is about politics and about who is my own, who they closer to me. Listeners, I'd like you to understand something tonight. President Trump and the American Congress may be making all these noises about coming to look into the genocide against Christians in Nigeria. However, even though I heard that the US thing attacked the forest yesterday or today and they've returned to their base in Ghana. But let us look very closely so that we are not carried away by optics, by show. To what extent do you believe that the USA will help you when the UK is their cousin? It's just a phone call that Donald Trump, Keir Starmer, or whoever will make to the White House. Say, nah, we could just yeah, just do them small, small, not to do them. You know, say two of us, now two of us hold that side. To what extent do you think that an external body can save you? To what extent do you think that the white man believes in your emancipation? I am not saying that the US will come. I'm not saying they will not come. But it is very important, especially to the last speaker, Ghost, that we understand that the only salvation that can come is the one that we give to our own selves. If you keep saying, come and help me, the person that is helping you will always see you as being less than they are. Even me as a human being, if I'm constantly helping somebody, I'll begin to see myself at some point as being bigger than that person. So, to what extent can you help yourself? You said the pastors are afraid, they don't want to talk. Fine, let them keep disseminating us. But what I know is that as it goes, they are decimating us. The further this decimation goes, the more the awareness rises. One day, even if it is 10 people from the next generation, they will stand and fight this thing back. They will take up this fight, even as IPOB are taking it up. Have you all noticed that since the incarceration of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, his agitation has become even tripled. The awareness has tripled worldwide. I don't live in Nigeria. Where I live in, everybody that I have ever spoken to about the Biafran agitation, who is not a Nigerian, suddenly when they see me, they say, madam, that man, they don't jail him. Who? This is not Nigerian government. Even the people who did not know about it. So when you think you are killing us, when you think you are burying us, you forget that we are seeds. We will sprout. So think about it. What help can you give to yourself? Because that is the most organic and formidable help. I'll rest my case here. Thank you very much, your host. Lewis.
Thank you so much, my co-host, Nvona. 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 Please, you have the mic. You're welcome.
Mazi Egodomi Igodo. Mazi, our chief host, greet you. I requested much earlier, but my phone went off, so I had to put it on and come back because this is important. Intermittently, when this live was going on, I saw a notification for another live, another space, and I joined the space for a few minutes, and I listened to a lot of, some of this paid activists, this paid activists that are hoping that by criticizing IPOB and Biafran cause, they are going to merit the kind of appointment that was given to Fani Kayode and Reno Mokri and the rest of them. Because everything looks like the more you criticize IPOB, Biafrans, and the Igbos, the bigger your appointment in the Nigerian system. I think the appointment or the nomination of Femi Fani Kayode and Reno Mokri has kind of encouraged the others, the feeder team, to start acting faster and hey, that kind of thing now. When you see that somebody has been rewarded for something you've been trying to do, like wow, now they cash out, they'll make you rush. So I listened to them. rushing and saying all sort of nonsense. And one of them said something that made me to laugh. I kind of laugh out loud. He said that there are bad people in politics. I will come to the topic, please. Forgive me. I will come to it. He said the bad thing is that the good people, some of them there who are good people, don't want to join politics, and because of that, bad people are doing politics. He went ahead to say that look at the kind of candidate that Labour Party provided in Imo State, and IPOB went to buy the man, and I laughed. How can anybody in his right senses say that a political party presented a candidate? In fact, before then, he said, look at the kind of people that Hope Uzodinma is presenting, even for councillorship and chairmanship, because he just bringing those boys that he's using to be able to compensate them. And look at the kind of person that Labour Party presented, and IPB went to buy the guy. And I was like, how can you, in the same breath, say that Hope Uzodinma is presenting unqualified candidates in order to compensate them? Compensate them for what? You have not said. You went ahead to now say that Labour Party presented a better candidate and IPOB by the person. So the question is, what is the interest of IPOB in the election? I do not understand. But yet, people that are presumably with full brain are there listening to that garbage, and it makes sense to them. This is to tell you the enormity of what we are facing, the enormity of the fight in front of us. Now, we say these things and we talk about the caliphate. Today, when I was thinking about Professor Yusuf and his article that he wrote and trying to characterize the Christian genocide as a conspiracy, in his own word, he said, by those who don't love Nigeria, who want to divide this country, who are bigoted, and all sort of description he gave. I know he's just trying to describe the IPOB as best as he can according to their own narrative. According to their own narrative. But I look at it and I saw how he comfortably blamed the Niger Delta militants or militias, as you call them, for being sent to the north to unalive, the Muslims. When you put all these pieces together, you realize the cry that we have been crying. One, the manipulation of the caliphate. And I'll break that down in a minute. That manipulation is, first of all, they gave Asari Dokubo, the leader, the supreme leader of all Muslims in the East, which means the Biafran region, because they didn't say South this time around. They said the East. They're clever. They said the South and Southeast, which means the East. After they have done that, months later, Asari Dokubo has now come out to boast that the government have engaged them in fighting insecurity also in the northwest, northeast, and other part. Now they've come out to say that the militias from South are the ones killing the Muslims in the north. The question is Asari Dokubo not a Muslim? Does his origin from the so-called South now make him a non-Muslim? Is his militia, because his militia was referred to by Professor Yusuf as a Christian militia from the South. That's his word. So the leader is Asari Dokubo, and he is a Muslim. He's an Alhaj. And he is the leader of the Muslims in the entire East. But the militia that he led is now described as a Christian militia. That is one. Secondly, the death of the Muslims in the north have never been attributed to any other group beside a group that have shouted Allahu Akbar as they carry out their crimes. And yet, we are told that the genocide against the Christians is just a conspiracy by those who hate Nigeria and want to call a tribal war, want to cause a tribal war. Thank God for social media. Social media is the reason why we are now hearing these things that are happening, because it's been happening for decades ago and nobody knows it. It just happened within a community and the news does not even go as far as the next town. No wonder the caliphate said that the entirety of social media is a terrorist organization. It doesn't even make sense because social media is not an organization. And somebody comfortably call it a terrorist organization. Now, I have noticed something with the caliphate. You see, with the Igbos, there's a saying we have. We said, "Anyị nwere bụ, nwe mpụ," to mean that we have all caliber, all class of human beings. The caliphate are the ones who have been able to deploy that, caliber of people that they have, that resources. They've been able to deploy that resources very effectively. This Professor Yusuf now has been one of the most balanced critics of what's going on in Nigeria. He has been very objective in many cases, including cases involving Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, I must say. Has been very objective. He does not have a known position in the Supreme Islamic Council in Nigeria, headed by the Sultan. But the Sultan of Sokoto have sent him in his own words, that the Sultan have sent him in a worldwide conference held in the US to represent him. Certainly, he's a member of his cabinet. Yet, in issues affecting national interest, he has been sounding very unbiased, very objective for the past few years, only to be prepared for the time when it matters most, so that when he speaks, many people will have difficulty countering him because, this guy have been speaking sense for decades. So why should I if I disagree with him now that he's not speaking sense, they will say, oh, so the time he was speaking in support of you, you were equal with it, and now you are disagreeing with him simply because he disagrees with you. But that is not because he disagrees with me or anybody. It is because he is misplacing the facts. He is using alternative truth to suppress the things that are reality for some people. And that reality is that the Fulani militia are killing people and displacing them and taking over their lands, their communities, and renaming them. And somebody wake up and tell me that the government need to compensate them because they have been treated badly. By who? If the government treats you badly, go and fight the government. The Niger Delta militants did not wake up and start killing civilians and start, going to Ehamufu, going to Owerri, going to other towns, going to, Elemele, and going to many places, and decided to, let's kill the people of this community, let's sack them and take over their land so that the government will now listen to us. They didn't do that. They attack the foreigners who are there taking their oil day and night. They attack the vessel that are coming in. They kidnap the expatriates working on the oil field, making millions of dollars while their community suffers. That's what they did. They didn't go to Ekiti and attack Yoruba people in Ekiti and take over their community and say, you know what, we have put our flag here in the name of Niger Delta, that is our land. They didn't do that. They didn't go to Ile-Ife and rename Ile-Ife and kill the people there and take over the land. No, they were in their land. They fought the people. When the Navy and other JTF, members of JTF attacked them, they went ahead and attacked them head on until attention was paid to them, though later on the leaders of that movement monetized it. And now they have been made a glorified megad. Megad, we have levels between, security man and megad and gate man. Now they have been made megad of their own resources. They paid few individuals and the community are still suffering. Yes. That is why they are angry that IPOB is not doing that. But for all reasons, for all purposes, it is a total insult to equate the Niger Delta militants with the Fulanis. Okay, did the federal government rustle the cows of the Fulanis? Did the federal government in 1989, by Decree 41, Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida instituted the Nomadic Education Commission. He instituted it, National Commission for Nomadic Education, strictly to establish schools to educate the children of the nomads. Ask yourself, who stopped it? The North, in general, where the Fulani majority reside, have the lowest cut-off mark for university entrance, have free education for the longest period that we know. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan established schools in the North to be able to integrate almajiriship and secular education. Did the people of the Niger Delta, did any Ijo or Urobo man go to the North and stop the Fulani from going to that school? Did any person in the Middle Belt, any Christian in the Middle Belt, go to the school and stop Fulani from attending? So why do you now come to there and say, these people have not been, for a longer period, they have not been educated. So if those are not educated, and today, some of you are educated and they are angry. What you should do is pacify them for what? They are the one closing schools now. They are the one causing schools to be closed. Is there any of their killings that have been done in the Ministry of Education saying that you did not bring school to our to the forest where we keep our cow? That is why we are killing you. But today, the bigger your lies, the bigger your argument to deny the genocide of the Christians in Nigeria, the bigger your appointment. I guess Daniel Bwala did not insult Tinubu enough. That's why they give him spokesperson. The ones that insult Tinubu and call him drug baron, call him all sort of names, they are the one getting the ambassador nomination. So for you that is listening to me and you want to attack IPOB, please add insults of Tinubu to it, because if not, you may end up getting just a spokesperson or some media aid, which is not as good as ambassador. So increase it, insult him more, insult his family, call him drug baron, go to America and research about him and bring document and support your claim. Insult him enough. If you do, maybe you maybe be made a vice president. It is funny, but it's very sad that that is the kind of people that are being rewarded, and that is the country some nincompoops
Mazi is bad is worse, honestly, because
want us to be part of.
Mazi, Reno, Reno, the one that carries one kind of beard that look like a goat. In fact, we even heard that his name, that name. I think one of our comrades interpreted that name and said something like the name means whether goat or something in one of the
Is the son of God, Omokri.
in the Calabari language.
Okri say he goat.
Oh, okay. So you see, it was asked by Sheung sometime and said, if Bola Tinubu approaches you to work with him, would you? Omokri, his response was that it will never happen. It's against my principles. So
As if he has one. As if he has
So I
one.
just wanted to put a name to it because you were also saying something earlier in the line of giving these Alamajiris, the terrorists, the jihadists, that they should be pacified. I said, this is Gumi talking. So it's sad, Mazi. It's sad. These things, it is painfully funny. That's just what it is. It's not as if we are laughing because, Mazi, please, round up. Go on and round up.
Thank you very much. So, for people who are in diaspora and are coming on Twitter space to be ranting nonsense, thinking that they are away and they are free to criticize people who are actually fighting to ensure that their great grandmothers, their mothers, their siblings, their uncles in the village are safe and buying into the propaganda of the caliphate. I say shame unto them. The worst thing you can do to yourself is to lie to yourself deliberately and believe it simply because you hate somebody. You're cutting your nose to spite your face. I have this song that sometimes I read like a poem, but it reminds me of home. It reminds me that however that foreign land might feel comfortable, that if my home is not secured, it's of no use. It reminds me that however rich, successful I become in a foreign land, if I don't bring it home, it never feel like success. And I'm going to, with your permission, our host, I'm going to read or sing just the first stanza of that poem. Before then, I'm going to give a background of it. I hope I may even develop that song into some kind of song for our movement. This song was written by Adam Stevens in 1909. He belonged to a choir who had gone on a tour for 8 months across the America and Canada. And thinking that the people have missed their home, he wrote this song for those who might feel homesick. And I'm going to, okay, I think I should just sing the first stanza. Can I do that, Mr. Host? Before I let me see if you're okay with that.
Sure.
All right, thank you. He said, "Oh, home beloved, where I wander on foreign land or distant sea. As time rolls by, my heart grows fonder and yearn more lovingly for thee. Though fair be nature seems around me, and friends are ever kind and dear, though joyous might and songs surround me, my heart, my soul still yearn for thee. He said, though fair be nature seems around him, wherever you are, though fair be nature seems around you, and friends and neighbors be so kind and dear, wherever you are, wherever he is, his heart still yearns for home. As you live in America, in Canada, in Australia, in Austria, in different parts of the world, doesn't your heart yearn for home? Doesn't it? Doesn't your heart genuinely and honestly yearn for home? If it does, Biafra is the only possibility that you will come home and meet it peacefully, together, and in the same fashion that guarantees your success, guarantee your security, your peace. Let your heart yearn for home wherever you are. And if your heart yearns for home, you need to support IPOB and ensure that Biafra becomes a reality. If not, these Fulanis who are committing genocide everywhere, they are not comfortable with just the Christians in the Middle Belt and some parts. They are interested in Christians all over Nigeria. And the more you remain part of it, the more vulnerable you are. Thank you very much for the time you've given me. Much appreciated.
Mazi, thank you very much. We do appreciate your contribution immensely. Noa Mvona. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I do hope that, I do believe that people are listening, you know. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, we are not about talk. We are about solution. We are solution based, you know. And that is evident in what IPOB as a movement have been able to achieve, you know, so far. Like I said earlier, before now, farmer elders clash was almost like almost like a music. Everywhere you turn, if you turn to your left, you hear farmer elders clash. If you turn to your right, you hear farmer elders clash. All of this were not just happening. These were well laid out plans, and that is why Biafrans must be very, very. I mean, if you want to be honest to yourselves, you must be very grateful to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB, because and not just grateful. The way you should show your gratitude is not in words alone, but you should be able to support the Eastern Security Network for their wonderful job. If not, what we see happening in the Middle Belt, yes, would have been our own. Would have been what would have been seen across, even despite despite the fact that Mazi Nnamdi and IPOB gifted us the Eastern Security Network, ESN, we still see how these terrorists, we still see how much their activities are affect in our land. Now, imagine for a second that we do not have these people who are checkmating them from our bushes. From our bushes. That is why you no longer, the farmers and herders are no longer clashing as they used to clash in the eastern part of Nigeria. Now it is the herders who are now